Hello and welcome back to the vlog. In this vlog, we leave the Black Sea behind us and we head to Veliko Tarnovo for a little day trip. In this vlog, you will see my experience in Veliko Tarnovo, and then at the end, I will also give 5 travel tips for when you are visiting Veliko Tarnovo. So as we start to enter the city, you can see that we start getting some views of the city from afar, which are stunning even just from the car. We then enter the city of Veliko Tarnovo itself. As you can see, the streets are picturesque everywhere you look, with the cobblestone, the colorful buildings, and the historical architecture of the city. The city is also commonly known as the City of Tsars. Veliko Tarnovo attracts a huge amount of tourists due to its interesting architecture and the fact that it is situated on 3 hills. Our first stop once we got to the city was finding a place to eat. We had seen this restaurant on Travel and Dabble's YouTube channel when they visited Veliko Tarnovo, so we wanted to find it and take in the same views while enjoying a good meal. Initially sat on the terrace that had the amazing views, but there was little birds trying to eat off the table, so we moved inside, but you could still see the same spectacular views and take in the scenery just as much because the doors were open to the outside and it was super nice. And you really cannot beat these views from this restaurant. It was amazing. In fact, when we ate on the main floor that you just walk in from the street at, but there is actually a hidden gem that if you go up the stairs to the 2nd floor, there is usually kind of a barbecue area open that wasn't open when we were there, but you're free to go up there and take pictures from that terrace, and it's really nice because there's nobody actually sitting out there and eating, so you can take your photos at your leisure. And I will include the restaurant information below so you can plan to go to the same spot on your trip to Veliko Tarnovo. The historic old town area of the city is so pleasant to walk through, as you can see. Different viewpoints in the city that, like this one, that give you full views of the castle of Tsarevets and also the full castle walls itself. I recommend exploring for yourself, and you could possibly find a hidden gem or a hidden viewpoint. We ran short on time, which seems to be a common theme in our travels, and had to head back home. So we did not get time to explore the castle and the entire castle grounds. But I do highly recommend for your visit to purchase tickets to the castle. It is worth the extra money. I've been there as a kid and it was truly fascinating, not just for the history buffs, but even for people who just like to take in the views and explore. So I highly recommend that. So after visiting Veliko Tarnovo for the day, I have 5 travel tips that you must know before traveling to the city for yourself. So number 1 is avoid driving into the city if possible. We ended up driving since we were driving from the Black Sea, and it was very difficult to find parking. There wasn't a ton of parking spots. Most of them had a time limit for how long you could park, either 2 to 4 hours, which definitely isn't enough time to explore. So if possible, if you're staying in Veliko Tarnovo, I recommend maybe leaving your car at your hotel or your Airbnb and using public transportation, or just walking in the city, since parking is very limited, very difficult to find. So if you can park anywhere in the outskirts of the city, far away from the city center or the old town, I think that is the best way to go. Which leads me into my second tip, which is expect to walk a lot. The city definitely is very walking friendly in that main city center and old town area around Saravets, the castle, but do expect that they are fairly long distances from different attractions, or even if you're going from kind of the restaurant area to the castle. So put on your walking shoes, have water at the ready, and be ready to do a lot of walking. My next tip number 3, is if you are going in the summer, be prepared for it to get hot. Veliko Tarnovo is known for getting pretty hot in the summer, and when we visited, that was no exception. It gets pretty hot around midday, and in fact that's kind of when the streets seem to empty, since a lot of people don't want to explore during that hottest period of the day. So maybe take advantage of that, but make sure to bring plenty of water, take breaks, and pace yourself. Tip number 4 is to stay overnight if possible. We did Veliko Tarnovo as a day trip, and there was a lot of things we didn't get to see, and I feel like we could have experienced a lot more if we had stayed even just one night overnight. Even 1 to 2 nights I think would be great to experience the city. So my recommendation is, if you have the time to allot for it, spend a night in Veliko Tarnovo, and you can access so many more of the attractions, especially if you're walking distance, and you can go out during different parts of the day, avoid the heat, take breaks from walking. I think it would be amazing to spend a few nights there. Which leads me into my next point, tip number 5, which is allow for enough time. So not just staying overnight, but giving yourself maybe a full day or half day just to explore the castle grounds, and then another half day to take in the old town, walk around, allowing for time to go to restaurants, get food, things like that. Just give yourself grace with enough time. And then there is also even the light show at night, which you would be able to benefit if you spent the night in Veliko Tarnovo, which the castle puts on. It's like this historic light show with sounds and lights, and I think all of that can be experienced if you just give yourself enough time. It's a large city, there's a lot to see. So those are my tips and tricks for visiting Veliko Tarnovo that I learned on our day trip. Let me know if you have any hidden tips for visiting the city down below in the comments. And thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.